Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mehul, sir. Such a great honor. You've been so humble. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. My journey, this writing book, is obviously starts with the question called how to start. A private practice is a big question here because the money part and the financial and also the practice, right? People, we are teaching these skills, optometry skills. We are getting it in the colleges or the institutions. But how about the practicality part for the budding optometrist? நீங்க சொல்ல விரும்பக்கூடிய முதல் விஷயம், if they wanted to start as become as a private practitioner, what step they have to start? What are all the things they should follow from your point?
From my point of view, see, actually, first of all, they have to be very clear as to what they want to do. They want to start a practice which is an optometry based practice, and then they want to have an optical shop or a retail attached with it, or they want to have a retail along with a small optometry practice. And in that also, if there's any specialization they want to do or they don't want to do, so it all depends upon that first very thing, what they want to do, what they are good in. That's very important. So this is how I would say that first they have to be very clear in their mind. In today's scenario, if you take, see, I started almost 20 years back. In today's scenario, what I did 20 years back, if I'm going to do today, I will be a massive failure. In fact, we are all going down only. So I think the best thing is not to focus on a retail outlet as of now, is to focus on a specialty subject, to have a clinic. So if you have clinics, you're going to have walk-ins, automatically your retail also will do it. But if you're thinking in the reverse process, that I'll have more patients, I'll have more customers as a retail outlet, then your patient inflow is going to be less. Okay, so first I would suggest the new generation Optoms, if they want to start their own, you have a focus of a clinic. Have an attached retail outlet along with it. There's no problem, there's no harm. Your retail can always grow. So this is the main important thing which I would like to say is that first they have to have a clear picture, clear mind, what they want to do. Your voice is not, no, you're not audible. Nothing.
Sorry. Now I'm on mute now. So is it audible now, sir?
Yeah, now it's fine. Tell me.
Good. After being in 20 years of experience, I just wanted to know from your experience part, what are all the daily habits as an optometrist we should follow from entrepreneurs' mindsets?
So just repeat once more. What is it?
As a 20 years of experience of your career, from your experience, can you just guide us regarding what are all the daily habits as a budding optometrist should follow in their career?
Okay. So the daily habits a budding optometrist should follow. Fine. See, the first and the foremost thing is that now I'll talk in terms of retail outlet. Okay. So because I'm more into retailing and I have a small optometry setup, it's like that. So the first and the foremost thing is that your accounts are very important. Okay. So on everyday basis, it's good that you have to tally your accounts, that what has come yesterday, is it clear or not? Okay. So your accounting part of it has to be very clear in terms of your cash, in terms of your card, in terms of UPI payments, whatever payments have come, are they fine? Are they 100% all right? Is there any deviation or not? Because you get everything on the next day. Then the second part is if you're having any cash in hand, whatever cash has come, whatever has been collected, it has to go to the bank. Some people, in fact, I myself was very lazy a few years back that I used to put it every 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. And then that money used to be utilized in some other purpose. Ultimately, we work so hard, and if you look at the bank balance, it's absolutely nothing. So we need to have a constant routine habit that whatever is actually coming in as cash, it has to be accounted for and it has to go to the bank. And whatever expenses you want to do, it has to again come from the bank. Okay, you should not take any money from whatever you have earned. You have to take it again from the bank. So you have a proper accounting system. Your accounts is ultimately the most important part, which I feel which is there in for any segment. It could be a retail, it could be a clinic segment, anything. So accounting part is very important. That's number one. That's my daily routine. Morning routine is that's number one. Number two, second routine is the stocks. Are my stocks tallying every day or not? So you might ask me, sir, how is it possible to check the stocks every day? No, you have to check the stocks every day, 100%. If you're having, say, 1,500 pieces or 2,000 pieces, how many ever pieces you have, how many ever contact lens box you have, how many ever contact lens solutions you have, your accessories you are having, your sunglasses you have, everything you need to have a track of it on an everyday basis. So in 1 hour, you are supposed to finish everything. It won't take time. It is very easy. It's once you have a system, for example, in a rack, you know that there are 60 pieces and there are so many racks, you just multiply it and see if the racks are full or not. So this is the second daily routine of mine. Third routine is to arrange the stocks properly. Now you have to segregate these stocks based on kids frames, based on the size, based on the type. It's a rimless, it's a half frame, it's a full frame. You want some fancy collection. You have to separate it because at the end of the day, everything gets mixed up. You don't know that where is what. If that patient comes to you, if that customer comes to you, you should know that this piece is there in this rack or somewhere close to it. You should be able to find it immediately and give it to him. You don't have to go search for it to find that one piece. So it's very important that you put back everything into its place which has been assigned for it. This is number 3. Number 4. Now I'm talking. See, now there are many things which other people keep doing. Okay, so it's not whatever I am saying. It's been done by others. Now I don't do all these things, but I see to that it is done. Right. So that's very important. Other thing is I just okay. In terms of orders, now yesterday's whatever orders have been placed on the previous day, they have to be it has to be placed properly. So we need to have a record of all these orders, right? So we place everything online. Earlier it used to be on the phone, but then it always used to be a problem that are the orders placed properly, are they not placed properly, whose mistake it is, right? So everything has to be in writing, either by WhatsApp, either by email. Most of it is by email, and other things are by app. Every company has their own app. We place the order on the app only. So it's black and white, whose mistake it is, whose mistake it is not. So these are the small things which has to be done early in the morning. Say in an hour's time, everything, all this whatever I have told you, in 1 hour's time, it has to be finished. So this is the basic routine which I have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. What aspects of becoming an entrepreneur do you like the most?
What
aspects of
what aspect of
yeah,
you like the most? See, actually, becoming an entrepreneur, or this entrepreneur is a word which has actually come up in the last couple of years. Before that, we used to say doing business or starting your own venture, right? So entrepreneurship is like a cook is becoming a chef, and business people are becoming entrepreneurs like that. See, the first and the foremost thing is that we never get bored of facing or accepting challenges. If you are a person who is getting bored of challenges, if you're a person who's getting irritated by small troubles in life, as an entrepreneur, please don't take it. I would say, please don't take up entrepreneurship. So you should be ready to accept your challenges. And if you're not getting bored by it, because you have to do the same routine again and again, but with a lot of twists and turns in life, because every patient of yours is different, their expectations are different, their psychology is different. You have to handle all those things. Apart from this, you will have thousands and thousands of problems. Okay, electricity is gone, software is not working, stocks are not tallying, some frames or lenses has broken, or some trouble has come, some troubleshoot has come up, lens order not available. So you should be in a position to handle all these things. And apart from this, handling staff, you can handle things which don't talk, but handling staff is the worst part. So you should be ready for all these things. If you have that Josh within yourself, okay, that you are never going to be tired. I'm happy. This is the way my life is. If you accept it, you are well to do with an entrepreneurship. Otherwise, don't step into entrepreneurship at all. So this is, I would say, first ask yourself, first you try to get into the picture. Are you getting bored of doing the same routine again and again? If you are getting bored, this is not for you. And if you're not getting bored, I'm sure it is for you. That's all. This is what I would like to say.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Which of your failures were most meaningful, and what did you learn from them?
No, please repeat. You're not very clear. I just heard failures. Then,
okay, which of your failures were most meaningful, and what did you learn from them?
Okay, you want to know what are the situations in which I failed,
and what are all the knowledge you have gained from them? The meaningful failures, and you've gained some experience from that, right?
Okay. See, now,
The meaningful failures.
first and the foremost thing, when you use the word, if you use the word failure, now in business, there is nothing like you have failed actually. If a patient is coming or if a customer is coming to you, if you are successful in selling a product to him, you okay, fine, you are successful. If you're not, it's not that you have failed. You're probably identified that you don't have some product or you're not able to convince him properly. Okay. So I don't think there's any specific thing like failure in entrepreneurship. Probably you have tried to open a store and it has failed. Yes. In fact, one of my stores is actually not doing well. It is going to close in some time. I know that. So definitely it's a failure. But what you have learned from it, now I do not know what I have learned from it, but at least I know that that I'm capable of that or not. Right. So if I'm able to at least find out if I'm capable, I should know my strengths and weaknesses. I know that I'll not be in a position to handle an extra store or extra staff, or I'm not able to like turn the tables there. I'm not able to generate cash there. Then I understand that yes, I am failing, but at least I know that it is not my strength. So it's better to go away from it. So I would use the word strengths and weaknesses. Failure is always going to be, pluses and minuses will always keep happening in life. So if you know your strengths and weaknesses, go ahead. Otherwise, don't try to pull things too much and then say that I have 3 stores, 5 stores, 10 stores, and if they're not doing well, there's no point. You're not doing all this for the world. You're doing it only for yourself. So this is what I would like to say.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Uh, as 20 years of experience, what are all the from your experience, what you wanted to say to a budding optometrist from your bottom of your heart?
What I would like to say to the budding optometrist is it? Okay. See, now again, as I spoke, I'll be repeating the probably the same thing. One is that you have to be clear what you want to do. Okay. Don't just jump into entrepreneurship immediately, because we are never late. It's not a share market that you have to start early. Okay. This is being an entrepreneur. It is better to start after you have learned most of the things. Right. So it's better to be wise. What is the meaning of wise? Wise is that by knowing others' experiences. So you can probably work with a good institute whom you would like to become like. I'm sure you would have a dream that I want to become like so and so institute. You can probably work with them for 1 or 2 years. Try to understand how the industry works, how the industry functions. Okay, either it could be clinical side, it could be in a specialty clinic side, or it could be in a retail clinic side. So it's better that you learn from others first rather than to burn your own fingers. Okay, so this is the first thing which I would like all these optoms to, I would say all the budding optoms to know. That's one. Number two, don't be behind money initially. Okay, everybody wants a good pay. I'm not getting a good pay there. He's giving me 500 rupees more or 1000 rupees more. I want to jump jobs. I would suggest that what you are looking for, are you getting that in that clinic, in that environment, in that store? If you're able to get that extra amount of knowledge which you're getting, which will be useful in the future. Okay, I think you have to stick to such organizations for some time. Then you can start your own business or own retail chain or whatever it is. But please take some experience. Experience is very important. It's very handy. Straight away, never start doing a surgery. Always assist the senior doctors first and then do the surgery. Okay, so as long as you get your hands, your skills into it, it's better that don't start anything new, because the environment now is very, very bad, very pathetic.
Yeah, actually, you're into my another question. How do you see the corporate culture in our industry? Corporate culture in our industry. What is your perspective on that?
See, actually, the corporates are doing a wonderful job, to be very frank. Okay, we talk about experience. Our industry, I don't know how old it is, but I'm sure it is more than at least 100, 150 years old. Till at least I know 2, 3 generations. Right? It could be more than that. I don't know. But these people have not become like the corporates. The corporates are a few decades old, and their vision is 100 years. They're having a vision for the next 100 years. Okay, it could be in bits and pieces, like 10 years down the line, how it is, 15 years down the line, how we want to be. They have a good vision. We don't have vision. We don't have the vision of even the next week, what's going to happen, right? So corporates are doing a wonderful job. They are going to be a threat to us, right? It is better not to, if you want to be a corporate, you can think like them, but I would always suggest that go slow And if you are successful, you can get into that race. There is no harm in getting into the race. Okay, but corporates, I would say hats off like to the corporates, whoever are doing. It's not easy to run a chain. It's not easy to be so big. It's not easy to get so much of funding. The advertisement part, it is not, and they have started from zero. What do? We actually collect the money, we start slowly, and then we try to grow. Those people are doing a reverse process. They actually get a good amount of funding, then they start the process, they put everything at one shot, they risk everything of theirs at one shot, and we don't do that. We think from our heart, they think from their brains. That's the difference between the two, right? So corporate culture is definitely going to be tough for us, and it is going to pick up because the youth, the average Indian age is around 28 to 30, and the youth is going to drive this corporate culture. Okay, and the corporates are the youth also. So definitely, I see more and more amount of corporates actually getting into the business.
Thank you, sir. What qualities do you seek to assemble a team from you? What qualities do you seek to assemble a team?
No, please repeat. What qualities do you see?
While assembling a team from your team members, what qualities do you seek?
Okay, what are the qualities that you see? Fine. See, while interviewing, whenever we do an interview, we look at a lot of things, okay? But somehow it is very difficult to find it's whatever is there in our mind. We always have been compromising on things, to be very frank, to get people. Finding people it is not difficult, because if the corporates are able to find, and we always struggle to find one or two Optoms, right? How they are able to find, and why we are not able to find. It's not that, but the basic thing among people, what I look for is how adjustable they are in life, how soft and polite they are in life. That's more important. Being egoistic, being rude, it's not a part of a retail store which they have to be. If you're going to have anybody who's going to say outrightly no, or if they're going to be a little, I would say too frank in their opinion, such people are not suitable for retail. Okay, and even the hospitality industry, or even our clinical industry. So first of all, I would not really go by the talent. My first take would be the nature of the person. That's more important. Second, I would go by the qualification and the talent. So this is what I would look for. So first, the nature is very important. He has to be flexible. He has to be soft. He has to be subtle. He should be in a position to say, yes, I have made a mistake. Not be rude. Accept. If there's a fault, accept it. Acceptance is more important. I think such people, I'm ready to, I would not like to leave them for years together. I would definitely keep them. Even if they have some negatives, it's okay. But this positive is more important for me.
Great. Yes, sir. How do you overcome your the customer point of view, right? Every customer has the troubleshoot. Every customer's they're having each 90% of people from the optical industry, they're having a good success. The bottom 10%, they'll always have a trouble. They'll always how to handle the tough customers actually. How to handle the tough customer.
See, it actually depends upon what the situation is. If you give specific examples, then it will be easy for me to help you. But anyway, I'll just take an example. For example, if there is a patient who has bought a pair of glasses, and say his frame is broken, okay, in a short period, and it is his mistake. We know that this frame cannot be broken that easily. It's his mistake. He's coming and shouting at you. He'll be having so many things behind his head. He'll be having that tension, this tension. He'll put all this, and he will say, so your product is faulty. The best thing is, see, today customers are very difficult to get, to retain. Instead of spending so much of money on advertisements, on other things, it is better that you can take care of this customer of yours. So it is good that even if it is fault, please change it and give it to them. But you have to explain him politely that, sir, it looks like the fault is not from our end. Don't say that it is his fault, because ego pinches. So you can always say that, sir, it looks like the fault is not from our side, but you being our good customer, will try to replace and give it to you. So this is one of the factors which you can do. Second, if there's a problem in terms of the vision, no, it is not a product fault, but there's a problem with the vision. His vision is not clear. Then you have to go by a step-by-step procedure and find out where is the problem, starting with the prescription, your IPD, then all the other things that you do in order to adjust. Or probably we have given him over expectation that your glasses are going to do this, do that. We'll use the word anti-glare. We will use the word wider field of view. So it is better that we don't give more expectations to the patient. You should never say anti-glare, but somehow if you take the corporate strength, they always use the word anti-glare. I do not know how they're managing and growing. And when we use the word anti-glare, they'll come and fight back and say at night, sir, that glare is not gone. So we have to be very cautious and clear about whatever we are talking, that we should never use such words like anti-glare, scratch proof, anti-fog, widest field of view, distortion free field of view. So we have to be a little cautious on all these things. But somehow you should see to that you don't leave your customer. That's very important. By hook or crook, you have to keep him, you have to retain him. And such people will be there in your life always. You cannot do anything apart from it. Accept it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. What inspires you, sir? What inspires you? What inspires you the most?
It's a very difficult. What inspires me the most? See, now at a particular stage of my life now, getting inspired is very difficult because we have read so many things. We always keep. In fact, I read or I see the shorts in YouTube. Okay, so inspirational quotes, this, that, and all. What's happened is the mind has become very much immune to all these inspirational quotes now. It is good to read. For 30 seconds, it is in our mind and then it is all lost. Okay. So, inspiration, as of now, we have to only push ourselves. I have to push myself that I have to do this. I have to make a schedule. I have to push myself. And only then only then things are going to work. In terms of inspiration, yes, if you read good books, if you see some good movies, if you I would read the biographies of people that, if you talk about KFC at the age of 70, he started. Then you talk about Happiest Minds. At the age of, I think, 60, 65, he started this Happiest Mind, his company. And then I start thinking, how is it possible? At the age of 40, I'm just struggling in terms of my health, in terms of my family people's health. My store is struggling. Customer walk-ins are lesser. The corporate challenge is more. So every stage you have to just push yourself little by little, and there's a short life to live. I think we have to just complete it happily, accept it. So this is how it is.
Thank you, sir. How do you generate fresh business ideas?
This actually there's nothing like fresh business ideas. The thing is, it's all the same thing which we are repeating it again and again. But somehow we have failed. I feel personally, it's been a failure as of now because no business ideas are coming in. I would say that thousands of business ideas are coming in, but implementation is zero. If you are able to implement even one idea, okay, and by the time we start implementing one idea, we think whether it will work or not. The best part is that don't think whether it will work or not and just implement it. Maximum what will happen, you will fail and you have to try another idea. Okay, so you have to continuously you have to keep trying new ideas. But somehow I have a lot of ideas, but the implementation is never happening because we get stuck up in small roles of our life. Okay, if we are at the office, we work better, but when we are in the retail store, our time is not our time. Our time is the customer's time. How long he sits there, or when anybody comes, when anybody goes, it's going to be very difficult. When the day goes, we cannot find out that where time is has the entire day is over. We have been running from place to place. It's like that. I mean, inside the store for small things. Having plans, lot of plans are there. It's lot and lots of things keep running in our minds every time. There'll be millions and billions of plans, but coming to implementation and on paper, there'll be a lot of things on paper. But when it comes to really doing it on the retail outlet, almost it'll be less than 1%.
Thank you, sir. Is there any way to overcome that? Because every young generation people, including of myself, having the same wave, right? I know we wanted to do that, we wanted to make this changes, all those things, but the implementing part is a big question. Do you find any other way how to overcome this? What is your opinion?
See, what we have to do is in the last couple of weeks, what I've started doing is I'm doing only one thing at a time now. Stop doing too many things at a time. We'll have 10 ideas in our mind, but freeze on one idea and focus on that one idea. Till that one idea is over, please don't go to anything else. That's one thing which I have thought about. To some extent, it works. Okay. However, it is you have to finish it. Like you need to have a deadline and you have to finish it. Whether you are successful or not, like your exam date is there today. Okay, if your exam is whatever you have read, you finish your exam at that point of time. Don't think I don't have any more time. You have a deadline, you have to do it. Whatever is implemented, you finish it. Because you're not even able, if you have a deadline, at least you're able to achieve something. If there is no deadline, what happens? It goes on and goes on and goes on. I've been having in mind one specific lens, which I call it True Blue because it's true vision. And at the time, Blue Block came. Blue Block came almost 2 years back with all this magenta and purple color coating. So I had in mind that I wanted to have something like True Blue. I even made the price list, but it never still came into the counters. Now you have Nikon, Pure Blue has come. Essilor has come up with BCTs. All have come up with clear lenses. But I had this mind 2 years back, but still it is not implemented. So the thing is that we all, our industry, our brains work a lot, but implementing is very, very important. So it's good that you just write down on a piece of paper that this is my goal for the next 1 month. I have to finish this. Break it into small, small goals and start doing it. If you're not able to achieve till what you have achieved, you stop there and at least implement it. So you have to push yourself. Otherwise life is going to eat you up. In fact, I would just say one thing that assume we are not doing anything. The world, the atmosphere itself will eat me. Right? So the world is so bad that by doing nothing, you're going down. You have to constantly do something or other. It could be work, it could be teaching, it could be in the clinic, your retail, social activities, planting a tree, anything, cleaning your car, whatever. But you have to be active. You have to keep doing something or other. And for everything, you will have some implementation goals. It's not only for the retail. It could be, even if you have to take your mother to your doctor and then you have to follow it up. So for everything, even your insurance policies, everything, you have to have a plan. You need to have a deadline that, okay, this has to be cleared by this time. So it's not easy, but you have to do it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Uh, as an entrepreneur of 20 years of experience, what do you miss?
What do I miss? See, what I have missed is these 20 years. I really don't know what I've done in these 20 years. So when you say that I'm having an experience of 20 years, I feel that life has gone very fast. I've lost this 20 years so fast because I have been doing my daily routine activities. Morning I go, I start with my routine activity. I do all the small stuff, which I think I could have delegated it to people. I didn't have a vision. Okay. So without having a vision, we have not grown much. I think we need to have a vision. And the word experience, I feel experience is a very bad word. It's a word which has to be given to people who really are wise, who have learned a lot of things. Okay. They're still learning a lot of things. So 20 years looks too long, but I feel that there's a lot of things to be done. It's like that. And these 20 years have just gone like this. I should have probably planned my life. I really did not have anybody to support me. Yes, there are people whom I used to talk to and all that, but I think that age is like that. It could be for everybody, that age of that first from 20 to 30 or 20 to 25, that age is itself like that, where you really don't know your goals, what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Probably the new generation is much better. And still I don't know what I'm supposed to do in the future. In terms that should I grow in terms of my business or should I grow in terms of spiritually, and I should just limit myself to where I'm happy or not. So we always think that growth is always in terms of opening new stores, having so much money in the bank. I don't think that is growth. Growth actually depends upon what you want growth to be. Assume that I want to be more spiritual in my life. Growth for me can be spiritual also. If I want to have 10 stores, growth can be actually 10 stores. For me, only one store. I know one person. Um, Everybody knows him. Yeah, his name is Mr. Ajay Shinde. I spoke to him just 2 weeks back in Bangalore. He has only one store, and I asked him, why do you have only one store, sir? So you are so popular, you are having a big fan follow-up of patients and all. He says, no, yeah, my life is I'm very, very happy in my life. Okay. Uh, all that I wanted to achieve, I have achieved everything in one store. So for him, growth is one store. For him, happiness is more important. So growth, the definition of growth, it actually depends from person to person. Now, if you ask my mom, she says, why you want so many stores? You please cut down all the stores, have only one store. Live a beautiful life. For her, growth is there. Okay. So based on the age, based on where, in which position uh, uh, of our age, of our how responsible you are, based on that, your growth is, you're going to define your growth aspects with that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I think the valuable lesson you have given to me and the regular budding optometrist is such a huge, I think, very concentric lesson. I've learned a lot, sir. Uh, what if not optometry, sir? As a Mehul, if not optometry, what he wanted to do?
Oh, if I was
Can you
not an
comment?
optometrist, what I would have been? Okay. So if you take my 11th and 12th standard background, I'm basically a science student, but I'm not a biology student. I have done in C. I'm from DAV Gopalapuram, and it's a CBSE school basically. We had three options to take in 11th and 12th. We had biology, computer science, and we had something called engineering drawing, right? So I never liked biology. I never liked computer science. I liked physics. I like chemistry. Uh, I like to do structural drawings. So I had taken engineering drawing as my subject in 11th and 12th, and I had applied also for engineering colleges only after my 12th. Okay, so I would definitely would have become an engineer. Probably not living in India, probably in the US, because most of my friends are engineers and they are all in the US. I joined optometry, I would say by luck or by chance, because my father was an optician, and he asked me to just write this exam. And I took this exam because it was affiliated to BITS Pilani. Since the word BITS came into picture, I came and wrote the exam because BITS is famous for engineering. So I thought, okay, let me try. And then all the selection process went through and I accepted it. It went like that. I was not very keen that I would become an engineer. I was not very keen that I wanted to be an optometrist. But optometry came to me in one day. In one day's time, I became an optometrist after I got selected. So I never even knew what optometry is, who is an optometrist. I was zero in that, to be very frank. So I would have become an engineer for sure. I would probably would have become a mechanical engineer and it could be an automobile uh, engineer because I have a lot of section drawings of car engine parts still now with me, which I've done in my 11th and 12th standard. All the cross sections, top view, side view, all the sectional elevations, all that I have with me. So I would have become probably a mechanical engineer and that too in the automobile segment.
Great, 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 sir. What in the uh, entire journey of your life, what is the one thing which you do most mindfully, happily, and you feel your day? What is the one thing?
You want to know one thing what I'm happy about in my life? The one thing what I'm really happy about in my life is my family. I'm really blessed to have a family who has always uh, respected my views, has not told no to anything. If I wanted to do something, they have not told don't do it, not they have told you do it, but they have always supported my thoughts and my ideas, and they have respected my thoughts, my ideas, and they have asked me to do whatever I wanted to do. See, because in one way is that it's financially. In fact, I did not have any financial aid when I joined optometry. My father was he was an optician. He was working in an optical store, Okay, so the last salary what he earned around 25 years back when he was working, it was 6,500 rupees. Okay, when he came out of the store, he was earning 6,500 rupees. So it was quite less. I'm not from a well-off family. Yes, my ancestors were quite well off, but then my after my grandfather, or I would say after my father came out of their ancestral home, we are just basically I would say lower middle class family only. So coming out from there slowly, steadily. So it has taken time. I'm very, very happy that I have got I would say good family, good father, good mother. My wife has been very supportful. My kids. So I'm really happy like that. It's a blessing to have a family like that. Other thing is that in the last journey of these 2 decades, of my parents, uh, nor me or my wife or my kids have become sick, or we had any unnecessary expenses, or we have not had any such trouble that has brought our financial situation down. You might be doing very well, but in your family somebody might be constantly sick, or somebody might be troubling you. They might be having some problems, so your mind is always diverted there. Correct. So luckily I have not had anything like that till a couple of months back, but now yes, obviously we are growing old, parents are growing old, so the problem has started. But I would say that early phase of my life, for sure, I would say I would say thank you to my family.
Awesome, sir. Awesome. Do you the young budding optometrist you wanted to say the last three success mantra or point of view? Three.
No, sir, your
This is
voice
my
is
last.
not clear.
Sir, the three success mantra for the young budding optometrist. The point of
Success mantra.
Mehul, sir. Yeah.
Success mantra. There's no success mantra actually. The thing is that you have to be focused in what you're doing. Do your work properly. Okay. God has given a path for you. Allah has given a path for you. Whomever you're believing, they have given a path. You don't know what your path is. Okay. We really don't know what our path is. Just keep doing your work properly and with full dedication. That's more than important. If you're going to do your work genuinely, with all the involvement, and without uh, having it in mind, you should go with a full-fledged thing to help the other person, right? Automatically you will grow up in life, and when you grow in life, everything else will grow along with you also. Your family will grow, your store will grow, your retail counter will grow, everything will grow. Just see to that, however small you start or however big you start, don't be there in an idea to make money. If you're there in an idea to make money, you will make money, but you'll never be happy, because it's a never ending situation. Just be free, just be open hearted to help the other person. Somebody else is coming to you for help. Help him the way you can, in his budget, in his range, in his expectation. Just I think if you do that, you all will be successful. You all will be successful. And India is a growth story basically. So India has been growing in the next I think a few researchers have told the next 30-40 years, India is definitely going to grow. So all the budding optoms will not have a problem anywhere. They can be working anywhere in a clinic, and if they're looking to open their own clinic, whatever, you can start, but give your full effort. I'm sure you will be successful. That is the success mantra.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Such a great honor, Mehul, sir. Uh, I I would say a great hats off to you. You just come all the way from your the 20 years life experience you shared just like that, and the way you shared, like I feel like brother, sharing to me and personally to the entire budding optometrist. Thank you so much, sir. It's very, very, very valuable to me. Uh, Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would say you always been a support to us and OATN, and also to when I start asking this, sir, why don't you can come up, and you have given me a lot of ideas. So why don't you meet with a group of people, and you have a interview with all, why you're coming, because the care I love the most to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. I would just like to add a few more things. Since you're writing a book, probably you
Yes,
can
sir. Please. Yeah.
note down a couple of more points, but I do not know it would be suitable in this book or other book. But you can be more specific about um, points like, see, you asked me what is your routine work, okay? But uh, there are few more other points. For example, if you're going to talk about the retail segment, okay? So if it is a retail segment, then we need to talk about the location. Location is very important. You can speak on location. That's number one. After that, probably you can speak about having a manual guideline of your store's running guideline. How the store has to be functioning. That's very important. In terms of your purchasing, you need to be very clear that where you are making your purchases. You need to understand the quality of the frame and lenses. So you need to learn about the frame. You need to learn about the lenses. Okay. You need to learn about optometry. We all have gone to college 4 years, but I'll tell you in these 4 years, we have learned everything only clinically. I mean, on book, but practically we have never done all these things. So whenever we are doing things practically, it is better to read those things, whatever we have read again. I'm sure you will find 100 points more than whatever we have studied for the sake of exam, for the sake of marks, right? So if you are really interested in knowing a few more things about, say, in terms of location, in terms of about how to set up your clinic, it's what is that which is more important in terms of lighting, in terms of store location, in terms of what has to be placed where inside the store, okay? In terms of how to find out which good is good or not, right? If you're wearing an Oakley frame, now I need to know, or if you're wearing a frame, XYZ frame, you need to know that what is the quality. Don't go by the name. You need to go by the quality also. So how to find out if the frame quality is good? How to find out if the lens quality is good, right? And also other more things, like for example, you need to be an accountant. You need to be a person who can handle software, hardware and software. If something goes wrong with your software, you should know how to open it up. You should know how to open your CPU. You need to check if the RAM is not working, or if the fan is not working, or the hard disk is crashed. You need to know that. You need to know how to run Tally. You need to know how to put a tube light when this regulator, if the AC is off. You need to know how to clean the filters. Okay, you need to know all these things. You need to have an awareness of what is ACP, what is glass, what is acrylic, what is wood, what is vinyl. You need to have knowledge of all this if you want to become an entrepreneur. Okay, an entrepreneur is nothing but you need to know. We cannot be master of all trades, but we can be a jack of all trades. At least we need to know bits and pieces of everything so that we can handle things properly. So this is what I just wanted to inform you, that yes, you have done a wonderful work, but please, in this book or any other book, if you are going to write, please add on the next smaller detailing, that what should be the characteristics of that entrepreneur. That's very important, so that he does not have trouble in life. He'll have trouble everywhere. Even today, even last 2 days, my system is not working. It has got crashed. We don't know what is the reason why my system has got crashed. If I tell him, he's telling, sir, change the whole system. Then we opened it up, the board had gone. Okay, so small things you need to know. Okay, if your AR is not working, if your slit lamp is not working, you need to open up the slit lamp and check, is the bulb gone, or you're going to call one person, he's going to charge you $1,000 just for changing that bulb. Bulb is gone, or that adjustment has to be done. So you have to know everything, say from hardware, software, electrician work, carpentry work, say some small minor works. In terms of quality of the frame, you should know material qualities. You should know what is shell frame, what is acetate, what is TR90, what is cellulose nitrate, what is optile. Then you need to know lenses, what is MR8, what is CR39, how to find out what is glass. You need to know all these things if you have to become an entrepreneur. Otherwise, you will be only spending money. I'm talking about a single person. If you're a corporate, nothing is, you don't have to bother. You don't have to be an optometrist also if you're going to become a corporate. But if you're going to be like, what I am, a single man handling everything, I'm sure many interviews you have taken, they're all like that, most of them, all the retail people. You need to know all these things, because otherwise they will take you for granted. Okay, money will flow like water. If you don't know these things, you should know what AC you have to put in your store. And everybody will say put an inverter AC, because inverter, if that board goes, they'll charge you $5,000. Okay, so you need to know all these small stuff, which is very, very important in life. So an entrepreneur is, I would say, he's a wholesale person who knows about electrical, carpentry, mechanics, everything. You have to know all these things. So this is my a small request that it's not a request. It is just my thought process that when you talk about an entrepreneur, you should also talk about that what his quality should be, what he should do. That's more important.
Definitely, sir. I'll definitely add on to this because this is very, very, very important for entrepreneurship mindset. Definitely, I'll add on to this. Thank you so much, sir. Because these small things only I'm finding it out because everybody we can go and ask them, sir, how to start all those stuff, financial part out. But this particular thing, this இதுதான் முக்கியம். இதுதான் முக்கியம். If the sleep lamp is not working, if the light is not working, because this small thing will give us a peace of mind, right? So we know what are all there in our clinic and we know how to handle that. And that will be a biggest because I'm an optometrist. நான் வந்து சிக்லாம் மட்டும் தான் பார்ப்பேன். நான் ஏஆர் மட்டும் தான் பார்ப்பேன். அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் இல்லாம so when we know what are all inside to my
You got cut off. You have become a statue. After are we done? Some bad connection here. You want me to join again? Okay. Bye. I'll take leave. I'll contact you over phone.